comes to mind when you think about your hair?
Crown.
And why?
Because I feel that it helps represent myself on a day-to-day basis, whether it's my mood or the style for the day.
I think the word that comes to mind when I think about my hair is probably versatile.
I think the word is versatility. The one word that comes to mind when I think about my hair is natural.
Complicated, a lot, but beautiful, nice, and an expression of me. Throughout my whole scalp and head, there's different textures. Lower, I feel like it's nice and curly, but then when I get to the ends, I might have a little split ends here and there, so it gets straight throughout.
I would describe my hair texture as kinky. I think kinky, coily.
A little coarse, a little more coily than curly, but just coarse.
If I could pick one word, it would be coily.
I definitely have 4C hair texture, so if you don't know what that is, look it up. I think my favorite hairstyle I've had is honestly a variation of these braids. It was at a time where like I really came into myself, and I feel like every time I have them, I feel like myself.
I like it in my two-strand twist. I feel like that's the version of me that I'm presenting now, who I'm growing into, who I'm finding myself to be more comfortable being, and I feel like I can do different styles with this too, so I like this.
The favorite hairstyle I've ever had was probably I had braids with some curly pieces in it, and it was human hair, so like I could just wash it and go and comb it and brush it or whatever, and just wake up out of bed and be ready to go.
My favorite hairstyle that I've ever had is my current hairstyle, and the reason why is because I really don't have to do my hair. It's all mine and natural, and I love the way it looks on me.
My favorite hairstyle is actually the one that I have right now. This is called boho knotless. I like this style because I feel like it represents me as a black woman by keeping up with braids, but also having like the curls mixed in between for like when I want to dress up. It's not just so braided, you know, like the curls give it like a little classier look. Yeah, so I can say boho knotless are my fave.
So I have different pregame routines with my hair. If it's not done, wake up, get dressed, do my hair. I would comb it, spray it with some water, hair lotion, put that through, take a brush, not a hard brush, soft brush, comb that through, and then I take a hard brush with some edge control, put that on there, shape it right, put it in a bun or like a ponytail. But if it's done, already twisted up, all I gotta do is wake up, take my do-rag off, do my edges.
Pregame hair routine depends on if I have braids or if I don't have braids. So if I have braids, you know, just put it back in a ponytail, put a headband on, and I'm ready to go. If I don't have braids, then I have to, you know, slick my edges back, get my ponytail just right. If it's straight, sometimes I'll curl my ponytail, just, you know, add a little flair. So I think it just depends, but I think one thing that's always guaranteed is I usually always have a headband, no matter what.
My pregame hair routine is, of course, I have to lay my edges. That's really the most important part. Regardless of what hairstyle I have, the edges have to be laid. So, you know, you can see a little sneak peek right now. But yeah, you know, halftime, before the game, after the game, all of that. My pregame hair routine used to be flat ironing my leave out and my edges, using some edge control to make sure everything stays kind of where it needs to be, and wearing a thick headband to cover my tracks. The way my pregame hair routine changed kind of from when I used to wear weaves a little bit younger till as I got older, was I was a lot more worried about covering kind of either the weave or things that I had in my hair. And then toward the end of my career, when I had my sister locks, I really didn't have to worry about that, but it was a much easier routine and took a lot less time. Well, growing up, I don't think edge control was really a thing yet until probably partway through college for me. So I think that's the biggest thing is you really would just slick it back and go. But when I was way younger, I would do a lot of different hairstyles with my natural hair because I didn't start wearing any type of like weaves or wigs or extensions until probably high school. And at that time it was, you know, traditional sew-ins and things like that, but I never wore a wig or, not braids this long either, so it was a progression.
When I was younger, my mom did my hair, so that was the luxury of having my mom right there. But when I got to college, I didn't really take care of my hair that well. My mom actually always made fun of me. She said it looked dry all the time. So I guess the difference of just actually taking time, combing through it, putting some lotion in, and actually putting edge control to make it look real good and nice at the end.
Like since high school, like I didn't really think about my hair routine. It was just mostly a ponytail. I was just throwing my hair up in a ponytail and I was ready for the game. But I think in college when I really started focusing on what I was gonna do for my hair, and every game I curled my ponytail every game. I think that's when the headband thing started. My relationship with my hair when I was younger, as a young girl in elementary school, like my mom did my hair for the most part. I would always get a perm like every 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. And it was just, it was just something that we did. Like I ever since I can remember, I had a perm at that point in time. So I never really had to worry about it too much. Like I wasn't fighting with it too much. Just like my edges would grow out, and I'd be like, well, what do I do now? But then, moving on to middle school, I started doing my own hair and learning what I liked and what I didn't like. And I think that's when my relationship started to change, just because I wanted it to be a certain way, and it wouldn't cooperate all the time. And then going into high school, I started adding extensions and things like that, and just being able to change my look. I think it was fun for me, and it was just something different. And then in college, I was still wearing the extensions and everything, but I was very consistent with my ponytail every game for the most part, and then I would wear my hair out down and curled most of the time when I was just hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And then moving into the league and stuff, I think that's when I really drastically kind of changed my hair. I went natural probably in 2019, 2020, around that time, and that transition period was rough, just learning how to manage my natural hair and figuring out different hairstyles that work for me. And I think that's where I really fell in love with my hair again, just like in its natural state of how it could be and how versatile it is. I think that's something that definitely was a growing and learning process.
My relationship with my hair, I feel like, has been kind of a journey. When I was younger, I didn't think about my hair at all. It was however my mom did it, it was how it was. And I think when I hit kind of middle school, high school, I started getting a lot of breakage and really didn't like the way that my hair looked. So I went kind of to micros, which broke my hair out a little bit. And then I went to weaves. And then I think I really loved how I looked with the weave. I thought I looked fantastic and amazing, but then kind of got to the point where I was ready to kind of wear something different. I don't know if I hated my hair, I just hated the process of getting my hair done. I feel like all the little black girls go through that phase of having to sit there with your head on your mama's lap and getting it combed through and boo-hoo crying the whole time, snot running down your nose, trying to hold the hair so that they're not pulling, like, holding your ear when you're getting it flat ironed. There's just different things that I feel like a lot of black girls have experienced growing up, getting our hair done. But that was my relationship, was just, I dreaded it every single time. I always wanted to just have braids or something that I didn't have to get it done every day.
When I was younger, my mom kept up with it, so it was easy. And then going into high school and college, I tried, but I just never was into like the lotion and the edge control, so it was kind of just like a brush, put it up, and then my mom would crinkle my ponytail sometimes, crimp it. When I got to college, I started dabbling into different hairstyles. Like I started flat ironing my hair, and everybody loved that. When I had an iron, cause like I would get done with a game and it'll still be bouncy. Sometimes you sweat it out and it don't move no more, but mine was still moving, so I was happy about that. Then I got into the big edge controls, making swoops, 3 swoops. Right now I toned it down with 1 swoop, so I guess that's the difference. I toned it down, but I added more products as I got into knowing my hair a little bit better.
I had a good relationship with my hair. I felt like it was always manageable. I feel that growing up, it was kind of easier because of the time. Like for a kid now or a girl now, it's like you have so much to prove with your hair. Where like when I was growing up, it was kind of just a part of, the day or the outfit or, I feel like I still have a good relationship with my hair, despite the fact that I'm always wearing like extensions or things like that. I just try to give my natural hair a break, so that's why I do like extensions and stuff like that.
Now my relationship with my hair I think is really good. I don't know if I've ever felt as confident in a hairstyle than what I do now, but it took me a little bit to embrace a more natural hairstyle is how I should look or the right way to look instead of having more of a straight or curly or kind of clean look. So I think that's something that's happened over the past couple years, but I think now I feel like I have the best relationship with my hair that I've ever had.
Now, I love getting my hair done only because I love the end result, and I feel like it's fun to try different colors and different styles and different lengths. I just love like getting my hair done now just because of that, and I feel like I'm past that tender-headed part of my life, so I can actually sit there and do other things and not just focus on how bad it hurts getting my hair done.
It's a love-hate relationship. When it's done, I love it. I can just do my edges and call it a day, but when it's not done, I feel like I have to build in a time schedule to do my hair because it can take 20 minutes, it can take 30 minutes, it can take 15 minutes. If I don't like it, then I gotta start over. So it's a love-hate. If I could tell my younger self something about my hair, I would just say grow to love it. Invest in knowing what type of hair texture you have to get the best results. And if you do that, then you can grow to love it.
Own it. Only because, when your hair is more loose or more straight or different from others, I feel like they put a negative stamp on it because it's not like everyone else's or the norm. But yeah, I love my hair.
I would tell my younger self about her hair that it's okay to try new styles. It's okay to want to be different, and it's okay to show your personality through your hair. I think for me as a kid, I literally wore my hair in the same ponytail every day. Like my classmates would be like, "Bri, why don't you ever wear your hair down or in a different style?" I was like, "Well, this is comfortable and it's easy." So that's something that I always did when I was younger.
I would tell her to love the hair that I have growing out of my head and to not feel like I have to stay that way, but that I didn't only look good with someone else's hair on my head and that what came out of my head made me look just as good as I needed to. I have had many perms, always kind of get the creamy crack, right, to get it nice and straight. And at first I loved it. I loved getting a perm. I looked forward to getting it. Even if it would burn a little bit, that means it's getting it nice and straight, so you didn't mind it. And I stopped getting perms because it was breaking my hair out and I would get a lot of breakage. My hair was really unhealthy. So then eventually I just went to more natural hairstyles.
I think the reason why I got it was because my mother wanted to help me manage my hair without her help. And so she felt that, give her a perm. It'll be more manageable. I noticed even though it was easier to work with, it was also really damaging. Like as far as, it made my hair really stringy and weak over time. All the chemical, I think it really just it took a toll on my hair. Because the relaxer is a lot of upkeep. As much as it looks all silky, it's you gotta really keep it moisturized, and because the breakage is times 10 versus in a natural state,
I'm not an anti-perms person in general. I had perms for a while, and I recently actually cut all my perm out for real. Probably within the last year. I think I still had, some pieces that were still growing out that were permed, but recently I am now, I guess, natural. Personally, because I had so many different protective styles, and especially with braids or twists or faux locks or whatever, they're hanging, and I think that with perms sometimes your hair, it gets a little bit finer, and I just didn't want that to be the reason that my hair was getting damaged. I think it's different when I would get perms before because my hair would be out and I would just need help managing the texture of it and managing being able to comb through it. But now that I have a bunch of protective styles all the time, I feel like there's no need for a perm. And also I feel like just it's not good to have your hair being pulled back so much when you do have perms.
I did have a perm. I had a perm when I was younger, and I don't know why I got it. I think it's just because my mom told me to get it, and probably because my hair wasn't super straight at the time. And I think this was before like all the flat irons and stuff was out. My mom used to hot comb my hair. Put the hot comb on the stove, let it burn, comb it through, get the semi-straight hair. All I remember honestly is the white stuff being on my head and then them telling it when it started burning, let me know so I can wash it. And that's all I remember. And I was always wanting to know, why would the chemicals in my hair burn? And why would that be a good thing?
I stopped perming my hair just mostly because I just wanted to see what my natural hair was like. You know, I've seen a lot of videos. I watched a lot of, you know, people talking about, you know, transitioning, you know, away from perms and just, you know, not having to deal with perming my hair every so often, and then, you know, worrying about the regrowth and just, you know, how to dealing with that. So I think for me it was just about just, you know, figuring out what was best for me, and I think you know, I really enjoy my natural hair. I think some people, you know, it's tough to manage. Like, it's not easy. Like, it's definitely a process. Every time I have to wash my hair and, you know, figure out a new hairstyle, and it's but you know, I enjoy it, and I've learned to love it, and I, you know, wouldn't want it any other way right now.
Positive memory. I think, like I said, when I flat ironed it, and it was still moving after I done sweated it out. And my twist now, like, I like to do 2 ponytails or 1 ponytail. Like, I can do different stuff with it.
A positive memory I have with my hair, my natural hair, is a woman named Miss Vanita, because since a child, she's a hairdresser. She's been a hairdresser since I was a child, and we grew up in the same neighborhood, and she would always encourage me to wear my natural hair. Still to this day, like, she'll give me tips like, just do this and wear your natural hair. Like, she's just so natural, you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, she's a hairdresser, so she does the perms and stuff like that, but she always, like, I always remember her for that, like, just pushing me to wear my natural hair.
I think a positive memory, you know, I have about my hair is I like to braid my own hair, and I like to do my own knotless braids most of the time, and just be able to go out and, you know, people compliment my hair and, you know how it looks and, you know, how I'm done. I think that's definitely a positive memory I have associated with me.
A positive memory I associate with my natural hair was probably in the last year. I was somewhere and someone said that I had good hair, and I don't believe that in good or bad hair, but I grew up believing that good hair looked a certain way. And so I think for someone to say a natural hairstyle looked good and was something nice, that was a really positive memory for me.
Whenever I have my natural hair in a space that's like not predominantly black, it's always like, it's funny to me, just the different responses and like the questions and the curiosity that people have with Black women's natural hair in its natural state. I enjoy that because I think that it's something that's unique to our culture. I don't think other cultures or natural hair states are so different depending on the person. We could be the exact same makeup, but our hair texture will be completely different. Every time I think about combing it, it's a negative memory. Especially growing up, you know, I don't know. I was so tender-headed. That was really the thing. I was so tender-headed, and so every single time I just knew I was in for a good long night.
I think a negative memory I associate with my hair is just going into a salon and, you know, bringing out my natural hair, and then they're like, oh, this is, you know, tough to work with, and, you know, I think that's something that's a negative memory that, you know, sticks out with me, because I'm like, this is my natural hair, and, you know, this is something that, you know, grows out of my head. Like, it's, I'm coming here for, you know, help and, like, you know, to you know, be able to manage it and everything like that, and I don't want to have to feel like my hair is unmanageable, you know, when I'm gonna go to a salon to get it done.
So in high school, I decided to dye the ends of my hair blonde, and like I said, in high school, I didn't really keep up with my hair, so some of it started to fall out, and it just it got shorter, so then I didn't want to wear I didn't ever want to flat iron anymore, so I kind of just kept it in the bun, so that probably was the negative.
A negative memory I associate with my natural hair is when I kind of transitioned from wearing weaves, and I wore my natural hair for about a month, and every day when I looked at myself, I didn't think I looked right. I thought I looked kind of off, and so that always sticks with me. If I never want to feel like my hair doesn't make me look how I should look.
Honestly, no. I don't feel, only because I feel like there was a lot of people like me, you know, like I grew up around here where it's really like diverse. So no, I didn't get teased.
I never got teased about my hair, honestly. I can only think of like when I was younger, my mom had me in braids and she had beads in it or barrettes, and I had to play a game, and the referees made me take it out and said I couldn't play with those in it. Or like anybody just always like, can I touch your hair? It's like, no, it's all done up for a reason. You can't touch it, you can't move it, you can't, Any wrong movement makes it, throw it off.
Yeah, I think people have, but never anyone that meant something. Like, everybody gonna say stuff, whether my hair's like this, whether it's natural, whether it's whatever it might be, but they don't have any value to my life, so it doesn't really matter.
When I think about wigs, I think they're a great option. I love that people that wear wigs, you get to kind of choose what hairstyle you want, right? You can choose the color, the cut, the shape of it without damaging your natural hair. So I think it provides a really good option, and it provides an opportunity for women to be able to express themselves. And I think they're a great option for people.
I feel like they've helped as far as who you are. I feel like it helps with like self-esteem. If you want to be someone one day and someone else the next day, you have the ability to do that. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of put a damper on the naturalness of the world, because it's like everyone feels like they have to look what the wig looks like or what the wig makes them look like.
I've personally never worn a wig, but I think they bring a lot of value to Black women, especially. I think if wearing a wig makes you feel confident and makes you feel your best self, I think I'm all for it. Whatever hairstyle, I think that brings out your best self. I think that's the hairstyle for you.
I love wigs. I got my first wig, wore my first wig probably last year or maybe the year before, so I'm new to this wig kind of aspect of the beauty world, but I think they're great because you can literally protect all of your hair. I know you can do closures and things like that, but for me, wigs are just a lot more simple. When I have a sew-in and I have leave-out, a traditional sew-in with leave-out, playing basketball is a little difficult because your leave-out is still getting sweat every single day and your edges are getting sweat every single day, whatever. So you're tempted to want to flat iron it so much more often, but with a wig, everything is braided down, and so there's no real damage to your natural hair. So I enjoy that aspect. And also with people who, struggle with alopecia or different types of hair loss things, I think wigs are so helpful for those people as well. And I just feel like it helps everyone feel included and feel like they don't have to, be self-conscious about people staring at their head the whole time.
I personally don't wear wigs, but I know other people who do, and I see celebrities who do, and I think it's just another tool and accessory, a way to express yourself, a way to have versatility with your hair. If you want to add it, just with weave, you can add weave and have different hairstyles, make it longer, shorter. I feel like the wig, you kind of just put it on, go, take it off whenever you want. It's a quick, easy way just to look good in that moment, or if you want to look good long term. So I think it's a good access to Black women. A lot of my identity is my hair, because I'm not gonna go out looking a mess. Like if my hair is looking a mess, I feel like I'm not presentable, I'm not ready, I'm not comfortable. So if my hair is done, I feel like I look better, play better, feel better, carry myself better. So a lot.
On a scale of, do I love having my hair and if I would be okay being bald, I'm gonna have to go with I love having my hair, so there's a lot of my identity that's wrapped into it. I think, having my hair and be able to wear how I want to wear it and be able to, show up every day and looking, how I want to look, I think is definitely important to me. Definitely adds to my overall identity.
Honestly, I feel like until my last year of college, I would say it was very low. But after that, I feel like people started to identify me by these braids and by blonde hair. And so I think more so now, being in the league and since Baylor, I don't think my hair identifies me because I don't have a problem changing it up. So I guess I do have I feel like it's a lot of my identity, but not one specific hairstyle or one specific texture or whatever.
How much of my identity would I say is associated with my hair? I think a lot of it is, and I would like to think that it's not. But I think as Black women, we care a lot about our hair, and it's really important. We spend a lot of time on it, a lot of investment towards it. But I do feel like it's definitely a part of my identity, but not everything.
And that's why I say crown, because I feel like hair is a huge part of like your everyday. As simple as it just seems, like, oh, it's just hair, it'll grow back. Like, I feel like it even affects your moods. Like, if your hair is not done, you're not gonna feel your best. When your hair is done, you feel like great, you know? So yeah.
If I could change my hair in its natural state, I think the only thing I would want to change is just having like bigger and fuller curls. I think right now my curls are kind of tiny and tighter, and I think just to have like kind of a bigger, fuller curl, I think curl pattern would be the only thing I would change. But as of right now, I love it, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yes, I would actually. I don't know what I would change it to, but maybe a little bit less tight curl and more of like a loose, bouncy curl. A wet and wavy. Yeah.
Before, I would have changed my hair to a little more curly. I love curly hair, but I know with every hairstyle there's difficulties and people have to do different stuff for it. So I've grown to love my hair and just trying to find different styles that I like here and there.
If I could change my hair in its natural state, I wouldn't change it. I used to 100% wish I could have changed it to be a little bit straighter, a looser curl, maybe not as nappy at times, not as poofy, but now I think the way it is how it's supposed to be, and I love it.
Honestly, I wouldn't. I wouldn't change my hair, only because I feel like it makes me me. It's a part of who I am. Whether I like my hair for the day or not, it still represents me. So to change it would be trying to be something or someone else, you know? Like, I feel like this is what I was blessed with, and I take it as a blessing instead of anything negative, you know?
My message to little Black girls would be to really embrace the kind of hair that you have. Everyone's hair is a little bit different, and to find the styles that work the best for your hair. I think we get pushed into doing certain things with our hair, adding the heat, different things that maybe break off our hair that doesn't work for, you know, a coarser texture. But so to try to find the things that work for you, and I promise you'll love your hair.
First, I would say don't put so much focus into it. Like, it's hair. It's not, I don't know, it's not like the end of the world, and there's so many different things you can do with it. Where our hair is so much more versatile. We can try different styles, different lengths, updos, down, whatever you want. And I feel like that is just so fun and something that's unique to us in our culture, just the versatility that we have. People are gonna talk regardless of what hairstyle you have, whether it's long, whether it's short, whether it's kinky, whether it's straight, whether, it doesn't really matter. Like, people are always gonna have something to say. So all that matters is that you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable in the way that your natural hair is, then wear it in a different way that you do feel comfortable. But I'm not somebody who's like, just because it's your natural hair or in its natural state, I don't think you should feel like you have to wear your hair like that. If that's not how you personally like it, then wear it how you want to. That's just, you know, my take on it. And that's what I do in my own life, is I wear my hair how I like it to be worn, not how everyone else likes it.
Love it. Own it. Accept it. There's nothing wrong with being different, you know? Like, I feel that nowadays it's like, oh, I have to be like that person, or they don't like this, so I have to change who I am because society doesn't like it. Like, I don't think that that's how young Black women should feel. You know, I feel like go with the flow. Like, if that's who you are, that's who you are. And they have to learn how to work around who you are instead of it being vice versa and you having to change who you are or how you feel or how you look to please society. My
message would be just to love yourself, love who you are in general. The outside of you don't portray who you are in the inside, but it does make you feel better sometimes. So just go to love what what you have, accept what you have, and you can always do different things because there's different avenues out there in the world, but just to love yourself, and if you love yourself, nothing else matters.
To all the little girls that are struggling with their hair, I think you just have to find the hairstyle that makes you feel confident and you know, proud to be who you are. I think there's nothing wrong with, you know, wearing a wig, wearing braids, you know, wearing a sew-in, or, you know, doing your hair however you like. I think you just have to find what works for you and, you know, embrace it. My hair, my crown.
My hair, my crown.
My hair, my crown.
My hair, my crown.
My hair, my crown.